left to describe Ohtani. I have never seen another athlete like him in my life. And I stand by that. Not only the GOAT, but also the most humble GOAT of GOATs. But just because he's also the GOAT of humility does not mean he's not an assassin, because he is both, and he'll prove it tonight in Game 4. I'm Jim Rome.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Howard.
Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome in to Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland with you. Max Power here with us. He's got the Hawaiian tunes because it is a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday, trying to beat the weather out there. We haven't seen the sun in a while. Maybe these Hawaiian shirts will inspire it to come out from behind the clouds and warm things up a little bit as we get ready for Halloween, just a couple of days away. Glad to be here with you, everybody. Glad to turn the page into the next week of football. We'll do some of that today. KU, K-State, both right back at it in college football. The Chiefs turn the page to the biggest game, on the calendar, at least on paper, every year, because it never disappoints us in Chiefs-Bills. But some key injuries and updates to talk about with the Kansas City Chiefs as well. World Series on to Game 4 now as the Blue Jays get a win last night over the Dodgers. We'll talk about it all. It's all brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring a Hot Link sandwich, split seared, served in a split-top bun with chips and a drink for only $9. Perfect for lunch. Hot Link sandwich now available at Wichita Brewing Company. Pizza and beer made here. TJ, how are you this morning?
Hello. I'm not gonna lie. Max might be pulling his hair up for this one, but it's pretty cold outside right now. I think that we've officially passed the threshold.
It's ridiculous.
It'll get warm back up. We'll be back, but today it's past the TJ threshold.
Yeah, we've got our Hawaiian shirts on, and we'll be ready. I blame you partly for this. This is what comes when you wish for the colder weather. This is a part of that wish. It is, and we are about to, we're about to move the clocks. What is it? Fall back. Ugh, like, who wants a sunset at 5:30? Why do we have to do that? Why can't we just leave it the way that it is now? No one even wants the sun to set at 5:30, do they? Is anybody like that? Is anybody a fan of that? I don't think so. But, it is what it is. We'll listen. You're getting TJ, you bought a house, you like mowing the yard. You start complaining about the weather, and you kind of got a trifecta going there on becoming an old man. Maybe a little.
Yesterday when I got home from Kansas City after the Chiefs game, there was leaves literally all over the driveway, and I have gone to war with the leaves. There's a giant tree next to our house. I mean, it's a massive tree, and they flood this whole freaking place up with leaves. And every week, it's like I leaf blow them into a pile and then bag them up with a lawnmower, and then 20 minutes later, they're back.
I hope you're happy. You wished this upon us. So enjoy it. I'll smile and feel a little warmer when I think about you out there raking the leaves 19 times. Because that's what time of year it is, and we're here. I like the fall. I do like the fall. This isn't an anti-fall take. It's an anti-winter take, and the fall unfortunately means that the winter's coming. And how cold did we get last night? 35, 36.
It had a 3 in front of it.
Little nip. My wife got out the heating blanket. I'm just not.
Is
I'm
the
not
heat
ready.
on in your house yet?
Oh yeah, it was last week. We had the we had the check, we have our guy come out twice a year and do his checks,
Mhm.
and it wasn't working the first time it needed to. And we woke up and I was like, man, it's a little cold in the house right now. And we looked, and sure enough, it was down to like 64. And I'm like, okay.
Mhm.
So he came back, flipped a switch. We're all good to go now. We're fine. We're doing okay. Everybody's doing okay. Blue Jays get the win last night. TJ, I don't know how much of that you jumped in on. We can touch on it real quick. 6-2 in the World Series. They go they tie things up in game 4, 2 games apiece. Just you wondered how anybody would react to an 18-inning marathon the night before. Well, the Blue Jays, they jump in and they get it done. A big offensive performance. Shohei gave up 4 runs on the mound. And now this series becomes a 3-game series. And I still think the Dodgers are going to be tough to take down in a 3-game series. But, man, the Blue Jays are showing why they're there. They can hit the ball.
Yeah, it's comical, actually, that the fact that the Dodgers starting pitcher was on base 9 times the night before. But still, I mean, he actually pitched pretty decently until that last inning whenever he got the bases loaded or something when they took him out, I saw.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a big win for the Blue Jays because what do they have? One more in LA and then they go back to Toronto?
That'd be the answer, and I believe they play it tonight. Let me double check that. But baseball doesn't mess around with the postseason, and I love that about baseball. They will play tonight. It will be Blake Snell again. Same pitching matchup as game 1. So they'll get that done. Then they'll take a day off and get back at it on Halloween in Toronto. It's going back to Toronto one way or another. It's been a really good series. You had that game that went to 18 innings. Other than that, it's been, the games themselves haven't been particularly close. Game 2 was a 5-1 win for the Dodgers. Game 1 was an 11-4 win for the Blue Jays. And so I don't know why, obviously the 18-inning game, I don't know why I felt like it was an entertaining series, but I think honestly it's just because Shohei's in it. And Vlad Jr.'s in it. And you've got 2 of these great sluggers that are both like performing at the highest level. So you're getting no disappointment there. And it's just kind of like which superstar can carry his team over the finish line.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing of what makes this one entertaining is the fact that nobody knew if the Blue Jays were going to be able to hang with the Dodgers, and I think the fact that they are, and when the Blue Jays win these games, even if they are by 11-4, I mean, obviously unless you're a Dodgers fan, but that's saved for a special group of people in Southern California and bandwagoners. It's cool to watch. It's cool to watch a Blue Jays team go up against them and get wins against one of the highest payrolls in baseball.
And it's strange too that we wondered whether they would be able to be in it. Didn't they win more games than the Dodgers in the regular season? We do this in baseball. There's ever that big of a favorite because there's not, right? It's baseball. That's what makes baseball fun and great. That's why we haven't seen a repeat champion, because it's just a sport that lends itself to a chip in a chair, right? Everybody's got a shot, and we're far too, and this series is far from over, but we were far too dismissive of the Blue Jays season. The Blue Jays are really good, and they've got some depth in their starting rotation. They've got a fantastic lineup. They've spent a ton of money on their team, and they've been good for a long time. If we go back, let me pull it up and see where they rank in payroll this year. Of course, the Dodgers are going to be first. Yeah, they're 7th. They're top 10. It's funny because the Dodgers are so far ahead of basically everybody else, right? But the Blue Jays spent $250 million on their roster. The Royals, by comparison, spent $132. So the Blue Jays have become and really have always been an aggressive team. That's not some small market team, David versus Goliath here, that the Dodgers are taking on. The Blue Jays have a loaded lineup. They've spent a ton of money on it, and they're right there. They're going blow for blow with the defending champs. And it's been a really good series, and I'm thankful again tonight. They'll kind of have the stage all to themselves. No football to interfere with. Of course, the NBA is back, but more people can watch it, and the more people watching Shohei, the more eyeballs on Shohei. As far as baseball as a sport, the better for baseball.
Yeah. This is a very random thing. Well, our final minute here. The not to take us back to a gambling situation here, the Shohei stuff that's all went down and everything like that, I feel like it's weird that like the casual baseball fan that doesn't watch baseball like still has like a vendetta against Shohei about that. But baseball fans love Shohei because they like watching Shohei.
Shohei has become a little bit of a love him or hate him, which is good for the sport, by the way. I think that's a good thing. That has something to do. I think most people just, for the same reason, like as a kid growing up, I wasn't a Michael Jordan fan because everybody likes him and he's so good. And you're like, I'm going to go for somebody else. I think there's a little bit of that with Shohei, but man, he's awesome. But his team is not leading in this series. It is all tied up after game 4. We'll come back. Let's get you caught up on the Chiefs news of the day from Tuesday on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
FH.
Welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland, Max Power producing for us. He's got your KFH hotline at 869-1240. We've got your comments available on our video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X. Thanks for watching on 12 News Connected. Thanks for listening to us on the Odyssey app. Shout out to the Crestview Country Club. Crestview is entering a busy time of season for family activities. We've got a big Halloween bash coming up there tomorrow night. I'll have a couple of my kids there. They've got their big Thanksgiving meals coming, which are, they put on the big feast there at the club, and then they also provide take-home meals, both of which I have participated in. It is a very busy time of year for us, so we've needed to do that. But give them a call, ask them about all their different memberships. It's still plenty of time to golf, especially for the sickos out there. You'll be golfing till there's snow on the ground. But for the rest of us, more casual, there's still plenty of good weather coming on the golf front. Give Crestview a call. Tell them we sent you from Sports Daily. Appreciate their support. All right, TJ. Chiefs Bills, we can sort of officially turn the page now. I don't think there's any need to spend more time on the Washington game. The Chiefs come out. They are favored. That is now moving toward the Chiefs. I'm seeing this morning. That's a little unnerving, I think, if you're a Chiefs fan, to see that move that direction like that, going to Buffalo, a team that's probably starting to get overlooked just a little bit. Buffalo has their issues, but there's not a team in football right now that doesn't, quote unquote, have their issues. Buffalo's still Buffalo. I'm going to be surprised, and it looks like this line, if you want the Chiefs, you probably need to get on it now. It moves that direction as we've had no practice updates. It moves that direction as we learn Isaiah Pacheco is down, which, let's start there. Isaiah Pacheco with a sprained MCL, according to the NFL Network. The Chiefs will talk today ahead of the first practice, and we'll get probably official word on that. I assume that he'll probably have to miss at least a little bit of time with this one. Happened late in the game. It's not like earth-shattering, but it is something to know that right now the plan would be to give the ball to Kareem Hunt 19 or 20 times. Remember, he's coming off of a foot injury. Yep. So really both of these guys are either hurt or at least banged up. The Chiefs' running game has been a part of what they're doing, and I am a little concerned with that going into the Buffalo game.
Yeah, it's interesting, and Pacheco is week to week, which week to week in the NFL at this point in the season makes you feel like, oh my gosh, how long is he going to be out for? Like day to day is usually like a 2-week injury. It feels like week to week, maybe a month, maybe a little bit more than a month or something like that. But obviously, I don't know. I can't believe that he has, like, we talked about that yesterday morning about the fact of like, yeah, he just popped right back up. It sounds like he was fine. He was walking around just fine. He did post-game interviews just fine. And then the next day, he has a sprained MCL. So it's like,
it
whatever
looked bad. I mean, it looked bad. And
yeah, the video in slow-mo looked awful.
Yeah,
but then the fact that like he jumped off the table and everything is like, oh, it's okay, he's fine.
And he kind of had like the hand pound on the ground there for a second. And you're just like, whoa, 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 whoa. But yeah, then he was able to get up. But yeah, they're going to need to take it safe. I mean, the Chiefs, and people probably don't realize this, the Chiefs have a top 10 rushing attack in football this year. They're a top 10 running team. Like, they're so good in the passing game. And I get it. Some of that running, right, comes from Patrick Mahomes this year. I don't know what his average per game is, but it's got to be over 20, 25 yards. So I know that's a part of it. But we don't sit there when we're talking about the Ravens and their running attack and say, yeah, but part of it's from Lamar. No, like it's one cohesive unit, and the Chiefs have run the ball effectively this year. Kareem Hunt has been very good and clutch at the things that he does, right? We know he's going to be great in pass pro. We know he's good in short yardage. He's picked up first downs. He's become this good goal line back. We know those things. But we know last year, giving the ball to him 17, 18 times, that's not really in his repertoire anymore. That's why it was nice to have he and Pacheco, because Pacheco can handle that early down work and just kind of keep defenses honest and everything. I don't know that defenses are keeping honest with Kareem Hunt, because last year, even as he was effective, if he broke one off, it was like a 6-yard run. Right, he doesn't have that home run capability. So we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do with the roster. Rick brings up Elijah Mitchell. What is going on with Elijah Mitchell? Is he still around?
He's been. I'm pretty sure he's been active every week. They just don't use him.
Well, that's an option. I don't think they're going to turn around and hand it to Brashard Smith a bunch of times. I think they continue to use him in the way that they have. But it does bring up the thing that has been brought up lots and lots of times. Are the Chiefs? Should the Chiefs be in the market to trade for a running back?
I was definitely in the no camp, but now it's like, well, you might not have a healthy one on the roster except for Elijah Mitchell.
It is the injury does force your hand a little bit, but I'll be surprised if it's something big. There are other teams that are probably more desperate for a running back. Houston might be more desperate for a running back unless they really maybe turn Woody Marks loose, right? I don't think you're going to get a bad team trading for a running back, so you got to kind of cross all of them off the list. So it does whittle it down a little bit to who might be out there in the market. And Breece Hall is the name that gets brought up because it's, you salivate at the thought of Breece Hall in this offense. But what does that cost you? Right. And what are the Chiefs really going to be in the market for? Right now, it's a position that doesn't cost them anything. Doesn't cost them any money. Hasn't cost them any draft capital. It's such a win in that backfield because they haven't spent anything on it. I would assume they would have interest in getting Pacheco locked up long term. Pacheco does have, and this injury, that's what sucks. This injury had nothing to do with his running style, right? This wasn't he likes to get in there and bang it a little bit. He got hit in the knee when he was out in the open field. That that happens to everybody. So I don't know what to make of it yet. When is the NFL trade deadline? Let me look that up real quick.
No idea.
How much time do the Chiefs have to kind of stew on this a little bit? I mean, they're not going to make a trade like tomorrow. The trade deadline is this upcoming Tuesday. They have to make a decision pretty quick. Man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm good. What is the price you're willing to give up for a running back? Fourth?
I mean, I didn't.
Fourth or worse?
I didn't think a fourth or worse. Yeah, 100%. If it's it depends on who it is. I guess I don't know. I mean, if we're talking about Breece Hall, I'd give up a pretty high pick to get Breece Hall to Kansas City.
You would? I don't think they
would.
would.
If I think that it would be something along the line. I was listening to Josh Briscoe's podcast, and they were talking about if you're going to do it, you want to be able to talk to Breece Hall's agent before you make the trade. I feel like, or somebody of Breece Hall's stature, because like I'd give up a second-round pick for Breece Hall if you have the opportunity to sign him long-term.
You'd get him this year and next before free agency.
Yeah, if that's all that it's worth, then it's not worth a second-round pick. I mean,
he was a second-round pick.
Yeah.
Boy, I don't know. Seeing here, and I'm almost on the other side because I would love Breece Hall too. My concern is I don't think the Chiefs are going to pay a running back at any point. So is there enough left in Breece Hall's current contract to justify the pick? I just can't imagine that the Chiefs, the way they're currently constructed and the players they're going to have to pay and try to keep locked up and do everything, it's hard for me to imagine them investing a bunch of money at running back. And if you trade for a guy like Breece Hall, you're going to almost have to do that. Now, maybe it's a little less draft capital and you can swallow it. Maybe it's a third, right? He was drafted in the second, we'll give you a third. And then you're not maybe as concerned about, but you got to lock him up long term. I'd love to see Breece Hall play for the Chiefs for the rest of his life, but I don't know that the front office is going to commit that kind of dollars to that specific position. They're going to have to pay Rashee Rice soon, and he's going to command a bunch of money.
I know. That's an interesting conversation how they're going to handle that.
I mean, it's coming quick. I think it's coming at the same time as Breece Hall. Let me double check that.
Breece would come before.
1 year before.
Yeah, because Breece got drafted the year before.
But I will tell you this: Rice is a bigger holdout candidate too at wide receiver. Yeah, you'd get 1 more year. So Rice is not unrestricted until 2027, but you still got to pay him, right? He's still on the radar. Worthy would then be on the radar. Worthy a little later because he was a first-round pick, and you can push that a year. But he's going to get more expensive in that. So they've got some other things, and you got to kind of think of it that way, right? Everybody would love to have Breece Hall. He's awesome. But the Chiefs are going to potentially have to pay Trent McDuffie. They're going to potentially have to pay those 2 wide receivers. They will have to, if, Josh Simmons at some point will command a mega contract. Now that's way down the road, right? They did get him in the first, but they'll have to get a right tackle. If it's Jalen Moore, he's good for a minute, and then he would need a bigger contract. There's all these things that I could just very easily see the Chiefs prioritize salary-wise over running back. You'll also, by the time Breece Hall would need to be paid, potentially have Chris Jones off the books. Who knows how long he's going to play? Travis Kelce will probably be off the books. Jawan Taylor will be off the books. What kind of contract would Breece Hall even command? Running back contracts aren't massive, but if it's, $10, $15 million a year, it eats into something. And is that something the Chiefs want to do? There's the other side of it too. Patrick Mahomes is getting older. The Chiefs should want to run the ball a little bit more. It's an interesting conversation, and you got to start with what would it take, and you got to start with the Chiefs' appetite to not roll with what they have too. They only have 5 days to think about it, 6 days to think about it, and make a decision. I would tell you this though, TJ, Elijah Mitchell, and not enough for me.
I agree. I as I keep saying, I did not think that the Chiefs needed a running back. The way the Chiefs operated, they needed very little out of their running back room to be successful. And right now, I don't know if they can get what they need out of that running back room, the little bit that they ask of it. Kareem Hunt had a bone bruise last week on his knee. He had
a little bit
injury.
though. See, that's the thing. They ran the ball more than 20 times the other day.
They run it a ton, but they're not asking you to get they don't need 100 yard back.
No. But they kind of do combined. They need to get close to it. They need to be running at a respectable per run rate, but they are running the ball. Now, I would have to go back, and I'm not going to do this right now. It'll take too much time. I wonder what that would look like, when it wasn't the Raiders and the Commanders, when the carries are coming late in a game, right, in games that you have under control. I don't think the Chiefs have to run the ball. I think their passing game is basically as close to unstoppable as you can be. If the other team knew they were never going to run the ball, I'm not sure it would be easy to stop the Chiefs' passing attack right now. But it is a nice weapon for them to have. It has helped in specific situations greatly in putting games away late, in playing off of the defense, playing really well first half against Washington. The offense just doesn't that passing game was a tick off. Okay, let's turn around. Let's run it a little bit. Let's settle in here. Let's let the defense do its thing. And then we'll get there's short yardage. What have you felt better about? Their ability to just line up and get a yard by running the ball right up the middle or running a trick play, right? Those things have been valuable to this team this year.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah. I don't know. I agree. They've done more in the run game, but I agree. Just back to this whole argument, I think that I don't know. I go back and forth on this. I'll say this, because if they got in a guy like Breece Hall, what would we expect from Breece Hall in the offense?
Well, right. He's not going to run the ball more than 15, 16, 17 times a game.
I know, like
most weeks, but he is a weapon in the pass game. Very
he
much
would.
so.
He'd catch
Let me
passes
ask it to you this way. This is where I keep having to go to it. If we didn't have such an affinity for Breece Hall because he's a local kid and we love watching his success, would we even be talking about this?
I mean, we'd be talking about it because it's the legit thing that, like,
would it change your opinion?
It probably would. I probably like Breece Hall more than the average person.
I think it would too. I mean, I
But
think we
let's-
want
like-
it. I
like
think
who's-
we
who's
want
a-
it
who's
so
a
bad because
comparable?
we like Breece Hall so much.
Yeah. Who's
But
a
at the-
comparable running back?
To Breece Hall right now?
David Montgomery.
I think Breece Hall is better than David Montgomery right now.
Okay,
But David Montgomery would be a really good fit to just throw in names out there. Let's just the problem is like Alvin Kamara, like he's banged up. He's not an option. And he wouldn't necessarily fit what they need to be doing anyway. That's the thing. Like you've got to think of it in terms of fit. Breece Hall would. Breece Hall fits everywhere because he's a great runner and he's a great pass catcher. I think he's a pretty good blocker. But like Devon Achan's not getting traded from Miami as much as they probably love Ollie Gordon. I'm just looking at teams that might be interested in moving a running back that are on the market. There aren't many. Travis Etienne, that doesn't move the needle for me.
I mean, I feel like he's pretty comparable to Breece Hall.
Travis Etienne? Breece Hall's way better than Travis Etienne. No offense, Etienne. Breece Hall's way better. The Patriots aren't going to trade a running back. There really aren't going to be much out there, man. I mean, no. The Panthers, would they trade Rico Dowdle?
Maybe.
Because Chuba's back, or would they trade Chuba Hubbard? I mean, maybe that's an option. Maybe. I don't think there's going to be much out there that's even that people are even looking at. I mean, that's the thing about Breece. He's kind of it, right? He's kind of the only guy. And so, okay, like, what are you going to do? Probably nothing would be my gut. My gut says the Chiefs don't do anything. They roll with what they've got. They see what they've got in Elijah Mitchell. They hope these guys can carry him over the finish line. If they can't, they'll go find somebody off the street. That'd be my guess. That's what I get. I don't think the Chiefs are going to trade for a running back. I won't be disappointed at all if they do, but I just don't think they will.
Would you rather see them trade for somebody to help on defense or running back? Is the other argument to this.
Well, that's a good question.
If you asked me before 4 days ago, I would have said a defensive lineman.
They might bring back Mike Pennell.
That's going to help.
In general, it's so hard because the Chiefs don't need the running back necessarily, right? They don't have to have it. Like, if you're asking which spot will hurt them more, a defensive player getting hurt or a running back missing significant time, I would say a defensive player. So that depth could be more important there. Yeah. I mean, they do have options in the run game still that would probably be okay. You're in trouble if both Hunt and Pacheco get hurt. As long as you have one of those guys, you can accomplish what you need to accomplish. The problem is both of them are at minimum nicked up right now, and maybe even more than that. Hunt looked fine with his foot injury. So we probably shouldn't hold that against him. Just realize that it happened. And Pacheco, if it's a sprained MCL, as tough as nails as he is, like, it's a sprained MCL. You're going to have to deal with that. That's not something you can just power through and put a knee brace on it as a running back and get after it. I don't think. We'll see. Boy, I don't think they're going to trade for one. I won't at all be disappointed if they do. I think they can be aggressive there, and it won't bother me as long as it's for somebody like Breece Hall, a player of that stature. It would, if you're going to give up any sort of relevant draft capital. But otherwise, I'll bet you they just kind of roll with it. I really think they will. How many training camp years? What's Carson Steele doing? Right? Like, how many years in camp have we had these darlings of Chiefs camp that have looked great? I don't think they're going to do anything. We can continue that discussion. When we come back, let's look at the Bills. Let's break them down a little bit. Why are people sleeping on them to some degree? We'll have that discussion next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday out there, everybody. To all those who celebrate, glad to have you with us here. You can't count on much. You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game all season long, kicking off with the juicy Week 9 matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. All right. Let's talk about the Bills for a minute here, TJ. The Chiefs, the line is moving toward the Chiefs. Everybody's on the Chiefs, rightfully so, and how good they are. The Bills right now have some key defensive players nicked up in this game. Matt Milano, Ed Oliver, both on the injury report. I will tell you this. I think people are sleeping on the Bills. They had a couple of games where they were not, playing up to their standard. One was a loss at home to New England. We now know New England is good. I wouldn't even say that's a bad loss. The other, they then followed that up with a road loss at Atlanta by 10. Had their bye, came out and annihilated Carolina last week. They had a close game with Baltimore in the opener. Then they beat the Jets by 20, the Dolphins by 10, the Saints by 12, had those two games, and here we are. I think we're sleeping. I still, like, if you're giving me at the moment two teams and I've got to bet the mortgage, these would be the two teams that I would still trust the most in the NFL, would be the Chiefs and the Bills. The Bills right now, their rushing attack is the best in football. They, of course, can throw the ball. He doesn't have a lot of weapons in the pass game, and that's been a problem a little bit. But they got a couple of good tight ends, and they've got it's not the worst set of pass catchers in football by any means, but they run the ball better than anybody. And they defend the pass really well. This is an interesting matchup right now for the Chiefs. The Bills they're bottom 3, I believe, in run defense right now. For everything we just spent 20 minutes talking about with the Chiefs running attack, this is the worst run defense in football. It is not strength on strength. When the Chiefs played some of their other big games, the Lions, for instance, or the Jags, it was very much like strength on strength. This one's not going to be strength on strength. The Bills have a terrible run defense and a good pass defense, and so now it's like, okay, we're gonna kind of get one of those good on good here.
Yeah, it brings up the question even more that it's surprising that the line is moving towards the Chiefs, considering all the things we just talked about with the Chiefs running back room. Like you just said, if they've got a good run defense or a good pass defense, and want the Chiefs to run, who's going to run it? Is it going to be hurt Kareem Hunt? Is he going to have a big game, which we saw him do last year? But as you said, he's coming off of like 2 injuries in a row here, so. I don't know. I want to see it just be an absolute shootout, but I don't think that these defenses are that bad. I think that it will be something's got to give. I don't know. I'm surprised it's going the Chiefs' way.
Well, I'm not surprised. I don't think that it's going the Chiefs' way. I think that there is recency in that for sure. The Chiefs they look really good right now. And so and the Bills, right, they had the 2 losses in the bye, and they did smash Carolina. But I'm not surprised, because I think the Chiefs are better than the Bills, but it is in Buffalo. I'm a little surprised to see it moving more toward the Chiefs, right? We saw it open. What did we say last week? What did you say? 1 on the look ahead, and then it went to 1.5 yesterday. Now it's up to 2 today. Or was it 2.5? It's up to it. Let me double check that. It's up to 2, I believe. Yeah, it's up to 2 today. So it's moving toward the Chiefs. That is the part that surprises me a little bit, fresh off of the line moving away from the Chiefs against Washington, last week. So, and we haven't even seen the Chiefs injury report yet. We assume Isaiah Pacheco will miss time. We don't know if Simmons will be back. We don't know what Trey Smith's status is. I think Smith will play. Simmons, obviously we don't know a thing. It would be nice if this was the week he was able to make it back. But right now I would. Are you picking are you laying the 2 points right now?
I mean, I probably would. I don't know why it's going the Chiefs' way is the bigger conversation to have here, but I think I'd still be comfortable with laying 2 with the Chiefs. If it gets over a field goal, I'm not doing that. I think it's going to be within 3.
What is people's problem with the Bills, do you think, right now?
I think it's just the, ugly taste in their mouths from those 2 losses that they had to show that they've got flaws and they are beatable. And as I said yesterday, you have to turn the Bills over to beat them. That's what both of those teams did. And so I don't know. I'd say that that's it. I mean, I think if they only lose one of those games, the Bills would probably be favored by, 2.5 or 3 in this game. It'd be a Bills favored game.
So the Carolina team that they just absolutely smashed didn't have Bryce Young, but it's a team that was able to beat Atlanta 30-0 this year. It's a team that was able to beat Dallas this year. They're 4-4. They were 4-3 coming in without their quarterback. So that was an impressive performance by the Bills, who just imposed their will on them. I would probably still lean Chiefs. I just think in general terms that the Bills are being slept on here. They're not getting they're not in any conversation where people are talking about, to me at least that I'm hearing, they're like, who's the best team in football? Who's going to be? And this game is massive for the Chiefs, right? The Chiefs right now, you have this game. Buffalo's 5-2, Kansas City's 5-3. You play them head to head. If you win this game, you, in a lot of ways, control your destiny, because you still get to play Denver twice, and we're talking about for the 1 seed, and they do play Indianapolis. Their next 3 games are Buffalo, Denver, and Indianapolis. So, they have a lot of control on this thing if they can get these wins, but you got 2 of them are on the road. 3 of their next 4 are on the road, and those 3 places they've got to travel to are Buffalo, Denver, and Dallas. This is that part of the schedule we've been worried about. The good news is the Chiefs look good, right? They look good going into this part of the schedule. But man, this is we got something on our hands here. This is,
I agree.
How many of these games, if the Chiefs go 2-2 over those next 4, is it disappointing?
I don't know. I think it is by the standards that Chiefs fans expect this team to be playing at right now, and they've been playing great. And so, I mean, I would say they'd be favored in all 4 of them.
They'll be favored in all 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess, 2-2 probably is a disappointment then by those standards.
They'll be favored at Denver. They'll be favored on the road. If they're favored that's at home against Indianapolis, and then on the road at Dallas. Yeah, they'll be favored. So they'll be favored in all of them. And then, by the way, they follow that up with Houston and the Chargers. At least those are both at home. And then they get that 1 game against Tennessee squeezed in there. It's another in Denver, and then it's Vegas. This is, this brings up another good topic, I think. Should we be having the conversations about home field with the Chiefs? Is that the appropriate conversation to have right now at 5-3 with this schedule coming up?
Home field in the playoffs?
Yeah.
I mean, if we think that they're the best team in football and they've shown that they can play against anybody and beat anybody, I mean, there's no reason to not have it. I don't know if the 1 seed is the conversation to have potentially, because you need more help, and the Colts look like they're not going to lose anytime soon. So I don't know. I think that it's fair to say a home game in the divisional round is up for grabs.
Yeah, I don't know that. I guess maybe should the expectation, because the Chiefs are playing well right now. We're all back. Everyone's back in on the Chiefs. But should the expectation be home field with that schedule coming up? The challenge with it is they control so much of what's going to happen. They play Buffalo, they play Denver twice. They'll take care of that in those games. Indianapolis, they would need to lose 1 other, but they would obviously own the tiebreaker. And then you got to kind of count on how many more losses do you think the Chiefs can have if they were going to have home field?
I mean, they can't have. I mean, what are they at now? 3 losses?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they could lose and get it.
The Jacksonville game looms large. It really depends on what you think about Indianapolis. If you think Indianapolis,
maybe 1. I'll say that
1 to get to 4. So
Indianapolis, I don't think that 4 can get it. I mean, they're going to have to. Indianapolis is going to have to go on a cold snap.
They would have to lose 3. They'd have to beat Indianapolis head to head and make sure they don't lose that tiebreaker, obviously. Indianapolis has Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Kansas City, Houston, Jacksonville on the road, Seattle on the road, San Francisco, Jacksonville at home, and Houston on the road. They're not going to run the table.
They're not going to, but I mean, they're going to have to.
Will they lose two of those games, one of them being the Chiefs? I think the chances of that are pretty decent, but would they lose three of those?
Yeah.
One would be the Chiefs.
That's the bigger question. That's the bigger question to ask, is not the fact of how many do the Chiefs need to avoid losing. It's how many do the Colts need to lose for it to happen.
Yeah. Here's the Colts go into the Pittsburgh game. They're 3-point favorites on the road. I mean, that's the thing. Like, nobody's still buying into them. I don't know that I am. I honestly, I don't know that I'm buying still right now, which is stupid. But the win against the Chargers on the road kind of opened my eyes up a little bit. They should have lost the game to Denver. Remember, that was the weird early game in the season where they made them kick the field goal twice or whatever, and they didn't make it the second time. I think that's what it was. So that should be, but it wasn't. But they're not like littered with overwhelmingly impressive wins, except for that win last week or 2 weeks ago. Sorry, on the road at the Chargers. But that wasn't a full-strength Charger team. And I'm not trying to make excuses against the Colts. I'm just trying to get a real good feel for how this thing might play out. And if you're the Chiefs right now, and you look at the schedule you've got to play, and you look at the fact that Denver has found a way to win a lot of these games, and that the Chargers are kind of coming back healthy a little bit, the Chiefs have got to be real careful here. Like, that's what, to my question, should we be thinking about home field? I'm not sure we should be thinking about home field. I think we should just be thinking about the Chiefs need to make sure they win enough of these games to still get into the playoffs. As good as they look, the schedule that they have is a nightmare. It's a nightmare schedule.
I mean, right now it's kind of a gridlock too in the AFC. Is the other part of this as well, is that, there's between them and the Colts, there's still 5 teams right there. And so I think that it'll level itself out eventually, and it'll stop being so, floated towards the top. And I think that the Chiefs will eventually keep rising if they keep winning the games. But I agree. I think that, everybody knew even before all the stuff that the Chiefs were going to deal with in the early season, looking at this schedule was going to be nuts. And I think that, as we said, getting out of there and being 5-3 at this point is probably something that people would have taken, given, the Worthy injury and the Rice suspension and all of that stuff. And so I don't know. I don't think
sure would be.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think that you just need to keep getting through the schedule. I think that, I wouldn't be shocked if the Chiefs lost 2 more games.
Oh, I won't either. What's so funny about all of it is we looked at that opening portion of the schedule and we're like, man, this doesn't get any tougher. And then Lamar Jackson misses a half, and they do get the win over Detroit, but Vegas doesn't end up being any good. Washington's not any good at the moment. Now they're actually to the part of the schedule that's the hardest, and we didn't see that coming at all. It was like, oh man, Denver's actually really good, and so is Indianapolis. All right, well, there really isn't any schedule relief on here except the game they get to play against Tennessee, and maybe the next one too against the Raiders. It's fun. God, can't wait for Chiefs Bills. We'll continue to dig into the intricate matchups after we get a practice report today. That's going to be a pretty critical practice report. We'll keep an eye on it. We got another hour of Sports Daily. Don't go away, sports fans.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems
Why are they hiding it?
and real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issue a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
All right, welcome in, everybody, to another hour of Sports Daily here on a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. That is the tunage you're hearing from Max Power. We're starting a revolution, even if it's just Max and I. It's Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday here. It's a perfect day for it, as we're trying to inspire the sun to come see us again after however many days we've spent in the clouds and drizzle and all of these things.
At this point, it's so cold in my house, I don't even think I can wear a short sleeve shirt this early in the morning.
TJ, do you know why Snoop Dogg carries an umbrella?
Faux drizzle.
For drizzle. That's right. That's correct. It is chilly out there. Wear a coat if you're just waking up and listening to us and ready to head out the door. Thanks for listening to us on the Odyssey app. Thanks for watching us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and 12 News Connected. You can get in touch with us in any of those varieties. We'll have Shreyas Laddha in our KU Insider a little bit later in the show. Talk some KU football, some of the things happening there, some of the conversations happening among fans and players leaving and those things. And of course, we'll talk some KU hoops, which I know people are beginning to become excited about. It's all brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, featuring Yumkin Pumpkin Ale, WBC's most popular seasonal beer that's made with actual pumpkin, served with a spiced rim. Yumkin Pumpkin, now available at Wichita Brewing Company. Pizza and beer made here. I've got a little note here that one goes away on November 1st. I don't know if that reed goes away or if that beer goes away, but get that one while it lasts, because once we turn the page from Halloween, you can kind of begin the countdown. And I know people don't like it, but the countdown to Christmas is on at that point. You get through Halloween.
When are you putting your decorations up? We'll dive into this hot topic.
Okay. So I don't have a problem at any point if people want to put them up at this stage in life, because I now have a real good understanding of how difficult it is to chisel out the time to do it. I have actually been in charge of a lot of that the last few years. So we'll take you through. HTO, our family business, away from this, and we give away some HTO probably here in this hour at some point. One of the busiest times of the year, well, the busiest time of the year is Thanksgiving. And we always do a gallon promo. People go, that everybody comes and they get their gallons, and we appreciate that. But it is absolutely insane. So that takes up a lot of attention around there. Christmas is also busy at the stores, not quite as busy, but for the same reason. But that time around Thanksgiving, I think when a lot of people do that kind of stuff, is just insane. I also try to pick up all the shifts at KWCH because we're here, right? We're not traveling. We're not doing anything for Thanksgiving. Like right up until the day, like we're super busy at the stores, and then I can pick up. So like that stretch of that, probably 10 days leading up to Thanksgiving and then right after, I'm always working. So if I was to say I'm going to put those up like this weekend, that's why. Now I'm not going to do that, but so I don't have a problem with it. Like, I get it. It's a busy time of the year. Maybe people are traveling. Maybe they're doing whatever. And I've been put in charge of a lot of this because my wife gets so busy at the stores. I usually put it up on Thanksgiving or sometime in the day or two following Thanksgiving. That is typically when my decorations go up. They may have to go up sooner this year.
So we've always, even before the house and the apartment living and everything like that, we've done it. We're the people that it's going up November 1st, the day after Halloween, Christmas. And I'm not saying it's convenience sake. I'm saying that it's Christmas time.
Look, it is a lot. It's an effort. It's a lot of work.
I think, okay. Let me change the question here. I think the bigger hot button issue is, when is the Christmas music start getting played?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that until after Thanksgiving. And that's growing up in a house where Kenny G's Christmas was going up, maybe even starting like mid-October. Every day we're walking around the house and mom's blaring Kenny G's Christmas. So I it's really all about what the kids want to do at this point. And of course they're fired up about Christmas. And for us, unfortunately, like, we don't get to make Thanksgiving a big deal. Like, it's not, and because Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday. I love Thanksgiving, love it, but we don't have like the resources and energy now to properly make the big deal of it. That's why I always say this time of year when we're talking about Crestview Country Club sponsorship, like, I genuinely mean that. Most of the time we do something like that, like we'll bring it home and we'll have it, or we'll go up there, because we don't I'm telling you, like, up until the Wednesday night at like 9 p.m., it is balls to the wall craziness at the stores we run, at the businesses we run. So we kind of wake up exhausted and like, oh, it's Thanksgiving. And then I go to work for the TV station. Like, that is Thanksgiving for us now. So like, otherwise we'd make Thanksgiving a huge deal.
My biggest thing is that Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday, but it just happens to fall during Christmas season. So
And that's
like,
fine. Yeah, no,
I've always been the big proponent of like, you listen to the Christmas music on Thanksgiving. The Christmas tree is up on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I don't have a
Thanksgiving is
problem with that.
probably better than Christmas, in my opinion.
Here's the other reason that they're both great, because they're both great family holidays. That's why we love them, especially the older you get. The other part about why it's acceptable to do all this is because it takes a lot of time to do it. And if you truly waited until after Thanksgiving to put up your Christmas stuff, you don't get it for very long, because then the next question becomes, when do you have to take it down? See, for me, that's the bigger, because by the new year, I kind of want it down, right? Like, it's time, we're starting fresh. So like you only get to have it like for maybe another week, feels in the acceptable range before you got to bring it down. Like, the fun and all of it has passed. The reason we celebrate that day and stuff, that's all passed. And like, now it's just kind of a tree in the middle of your living room taking up space. Yep. There's no more presents under it. There's none of that. So yeah, then it's got to come down. So if you truly wait till after Thanksgiving, what are you gonna do? You get it for 4 weeks? All that time and effort and energy for 4 weeks? No. Nope. I'm fine putting it. You can put up right now. I don't care.
It's going up. It's almost starting Monday morning. Like,
I would say after Halloween. Yeah, you probably don't want to. You probably need to wait till after Halloween. But yeah, November 1. That's a good starting point. And I think ours is going to go up. It's going to have to this year, sometime in early November. Like, there's going to be a day, and maybe it's I don't even know what day of the week it would be now, because we were entering the kids' basketball season and everything, where it's like, oh, well, we have a minute here. All right, we're getting the tree. The other thing that I've started to do the last 2 years is I let the kids decorate the tree. Mm-hmm. And that's part like because it's fun and exciting and cute for them. And it's part because that means I don't have to do it. Like, I get it down and get the tree out, because we got the big tall one. So I got to get it out and get it down and get it fluffed up and get it there. And then it's like, all right, kids, have at it, but get after it. And then my wife usually swings in with the knick-knacky stuff that kind of just, as we get a few minutes, slowly gets put out. Do you guys, now that you have a house, you going to go Griswold on it? You're young. You're a little more unencumbered.
We already bought the Christmas lights, and we've decided that we're like, are we just going to do like the front of the house? Like, every nook and cranny is getting lit on this thing.
My college roommate and I, probably after too many Keystone lights one time, went to Walmart and bought just a ton of inflatables. We didn't have any money. We just like emptied the bank accounts and bought inflatable Christmas stuff and just would litter our yard with the inflatable Christmas stuff every year. We Griswold, but now like I changed the garage lights to red and green bulbs. Like that's the outside deck. It's not lame. I love that stuff. I just like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? The other thing is, who's going to hang them? Because our roof is way too steep and I'm way too old. And I don't feel like emptying the life savings out because I fell off the roof. So then I'd have to pay to get it done. And I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, we've invested in some ladders at the house.
Well, I haven't seen your home. I've got one, and you've seen them around here. There's a lot of houses here with like
super tall.
Super tall and super steep. Like the roofs are, and I don't know why that is, because we're on one level. We don't have like a second story or anything. But man, those roofs are just insane. We had solar panels put on our house, and those guys were like, I'm like, hey guys, your job, not mine. Get after it. Get after it. Yeah, I do love Christmas time, and I'm good with it. Max, you can play Christmas music anytime you want. Probably let's call it after Friday. Matt, hang on, Max, because Max, I could see Max being a Scrooge too. I'm about 50-50 on whether Max is big on Christmas spirit or Mr. Scrooge. Max, when do you start thinking about Christmas?
After Thanksgiving. They're already doing Christmas ads, and we haven't even had Halloween.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So we probably won't be getting Christmas.
Max is probably a big Halloween guy. Is the issue here?
Yeah, nice mask.
Are you dressing up this year, Max?
No, God, I'm old. If you're still dressing up when you're old like me, there's something wrong.
Yeah, I tend to fall into that camp too.
It's not even Halloween, and they're already having Christmas. Come on,
Well, I mean, listen, we're capitalist. We know why that is. Like, that shouldn't surprise anybody. That's not because of the seasonal spirit. That's because they're trying to get you to buy stuff. Anywho, put your Christmas tree up whenever the hell you want. Yeah, we'll come back. Let's look ahead. We've got KU talk coming with Shreyas Laddha. Let's look ahead a little bit to that K-State Texas Tech game when we return here on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. We mentioned giving away some HTO. Let's do it. You can win a free cup of iced tea on us here at Sports Daily by texting the keyword tea to the short code 20357. More than 25 flavors to choose from. You can enter once per day. Message and data rates apply. Again, that is the keyword tea to the short code 20357. Good in East or West Wichita or in Derby. Good luck, everybody. Welcome back into Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland here. We'll cover K-State just a little bit here and maybe some of the other storylines around the sports world right now. There is a story out now. Terry Rozier, of course, involved in the big betting scandal. The IRS had a tax lien of more than $8 million on Rozier. So whatever that's for, like if you're going to do this kind of stuff, you probably need to pay your taxes to keep the IRS for sniffing around a little bit on you. Just continues to be a wild, wild story, TJ, as this poker and betting. And I honestly still don't even know what to make of it.
Yeah, it's nuts. And the biggest thing that's coming out about this now is the fact that now the NBA is kind of getting scrutinized about, like, this was an investigation back in 2023, and they kind of just swept it under the rug a little bit, is what everybody's kind of reporting and saying. And so if that's the case, it really brings into question about the integrity of the NBA and betting on the NBA. And it's going to open a can of worms if they don't get a handle on it.
It is. It is. And it's not, it's not going to be, it's not going to be good for them. I think they'll be fine. But they just, like, this can't, because we've had this, you had the Porter, you've had a couple of situations, but guys are getting caught, right? And it's the Rozier thing goes way back, and it's almost like a continuation of that. So, and then the Billups thing was more about a poker game.
No.
So I don't know how much trouble there is. You don't ever want the attention, but none of this has me, I guess, feeling any differently. I think guys are going to try to abuse the system. I think there are a million reasons why that's going to happen. Where I keep falling in is, does it happen more often because you and I can bet a basketball game now without going to Vegas or finding an illegal bookie? And I genuinely, like, I don't know if I have a strong take on that.
I think so. I mean, I think it's the argument that we had last week whenever we talked about this stuff, is that, I don't think it's the fact that it's more easily accessible for the players to do, because I think it's more easily accessible for their cousin Mo to do, and I think that's like,
and they'll try and funnel it through, but they could have done that already, right?
They could have done that. It's easier for, like, your random acquaintance that isn't, a criminal going and finding bookies. You know what I mean? Like, everybody had it. Like, everybody can find bookies and stuff like that whenever it was illegal, but it was like the taboo thing. Now it's like, hey, I just made this DraftKings account and I'm betting on basketball games 20 minutes later. And I think that just so many people, I mean, I would bet that over 50% of the country has some sort of sports gambling account on one of the mobile websites.
I think 50% is probably a little too high. But I get what you're saying. But again, does that access make it more likely for point shaving?
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
Yeah, and we'll find out. They obviously, it certainly makes it more likely that guys will get caught.
I think it's more like, I think at the bottom line, call it what it is, if you want to call it point shaving and everything of that nature. I think it's easier for players to know the lines, and they can do what they will with that information. But I bet that if you took a poll in 2025 compared to 2015, I bet that it's a exponential growth of players who know what the spread is every night.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm not trying to be naive, because I think I agree with you. I just, again, like, I don't know. I don't think there's any going back. So that's first and foremost. Like, we're not coming back.
They'll have to change something if they don't get a handle on it. But I don't think there's going back. Like, they're not going to take it
yet.
away.
I mean, not yet. We got to see, most of the time what we've seen, like Jamison Williams, wasn't he betting on another sport, which was allowed, but he was doing it at team facility, which is not allowed. Like the little things like that, just like you can't obviously ever have the integrity questioned in this thing. And I don't know that I am yet. It's these player props in basketball because it's just so commonplace right now for basketball players. Just take a night off or to leave a game with injury. You and I are in a fantasy basketball league, and I just laugh every day when I try to look at my lineup and 9 guys are listed as out. I'm like, how are you even supposed to, like, how is anybody split? Like, this is why I don't bet basketball, NBA. I don't know who's going to play every night. So unless I'm going to make a bet 3 minutes before tip off, like, I'm already not betting the NBA for that reason. I mean, I never bet NBA ever. I don't know who's going to play in the games. I think that's a bigger problem for the league is load management or whatever it's being called. Like, that's the challenge for basketball to me because you don't know who's going to play every night. Like, I have no idea when I turn on a game if my favorite player's playing.
Yep. I agree. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where that's a whole different can of worms, I feel like. But it does have tie into the sports betting side of it, and it raises a lot of questions. So it's been a wild story, and it's making its rounds, and it's gonna.
The problem is we're having to talk about it. I mean,
it's gonna keep getting more complex until something's happened, but until more information comes out, basically.
Yeah, it'll be hard to be bigger than this. All right, let's talk college football. We've got K-State hosting Texas Tech this weekend. It is the game I think everybody has their eye on in the Big 12 the most. And there are great matchups all around. Cincinnati, Utah is this weekend at Utah. Utah is a 9.5-point favorite over Cincinnati. TJ, as it like, that's not being cute with the betting conversation we just had. That just like those give us an indication. Like when we talk about K-State and their chances to do something here, that is there, right? If Utah is able to beat Cincinnati, that opens the door a little bit. Now they'll need more help than that, right? They'll need a little bit more help than that, but K-State plays Utah. So you don't mind a Utah win there. This is an interesting time. K-State only has 2 losses in the Big 12. Yep. They can win a tiebreaker against Utah head-to-head. They can win a tiebreaker against Texas Tech head-to-head. They need Cincinnati to lose, and they would then need Cincinnati to lose again to BYU. And then I don't know what the tiebreaker is between K-State and Cincinnati. I have no idea.
I have no idea either, actually.
But the door is open. Right? Like it's cracked open.
Yeah.
And they got to win all their games and all of these things. But it is funny for all of this that there is some degree of control here for K-State.
Yeah. Fact of the matter is, though, is that, this could be a story for 3 days. And then if you lose to Texas Tech and then it's like, oh, it's over. Like it's not over, but it's over. Like the scenarios that you would need at that point are, meteors hitting the earth type situations of teams losing and everything and that happening. So you have to beat Texas Tech. And I think that that's the only conversation to really have right now is obviously it's there. And I think that that's the conversation that we've had is that it's possible and it's feasible to do. It's not in their control though. They control what they can control, but they can't control their own destiny. If they want to get to Arlington, the only thing they can control is trying to beat Texas Tech. And that's coach speak. But at the end of the day, if you don't beat Texas Tech, it's over.
Could you imagine if K-State wins the rest of their games and then they don't get in? Which is also possible. I'm with you. The chances of it are just wildly, wildly unlikely. But they still exist, and I only keep bringing that up because we're looking for ways in college football to stay motivated through. It's always been my problem with college football. It's better now with a 12-team playoff, but it's always been my problem is too often too many teams are eliminated, and that sucks, man. It's honestly, as I've grown older, why I've gravitated further. Because when I was a kid, man, like it was all college. I could not get enough college football. But then as you get older and you start covering these teams, you're like, man, their season's over. We're not even to Halloween yet. And like the season's over in terms of having the opportunity to do something in the postseason. Yep. Like bowl games that's fine. Like they've never done it for me. but expanding this playoff is helping. And if it's 16, it'll help even more in that regard. But that's so when we get this small opportunity, which we have now to say, the door's still open for K-State, I'm going to slam through that door and say, hey, everybody, look, K-State still has it, because it makes it more fun.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing the same thing too. Look, I don't think this is us just trying to play cheerleader for K-State. Like, the season was over and now it's not over. Like, there's something there. Like, it's a story. Like, and K-State knows it too, and they understand. Like, if they beat Texas Tech, like, there'll be legit buzz across the Big 12 and, nationwide attention about, like, hey, like, whoa, especially if Utah beats Cincinnati too. If Utah beats Cincinnati this weekend and K-State beats Texas Tech,
here we go.
That is like, I would sprinkle money on K-State getting the Big 12 championship. Like, that is 2 major events happening.
Well, listen, if you're going to sprinkle money on K-State getting to the Big 12 championship, you do it right now.
Yeah.
You don't do it after the fact, because I don't even know what those odds are, but like that's where you do that. But again, like the problem with these are 2 different conversations. We're having them because they're relevant. The chances of it happening are so low, not because you need so many things to happen, TJ, as much as you need K-State to play that brand of football every game the rest of the way. And that's where the real challenge comes. This isn't a team we've seen do that this year. They have not consistently enough played that brand of football. I'll tell you this, though. What if that Baylor outcome is the other way, right? What if you don't have the bad interception late and all of those things, and they're now riding a 4-game winning streak going into this? Then we are having that conversation more legitimately, because they just beat Kansas big time. They beat TCU big time. They would have had wins, 2 of them on the road, where we're coming into this. And that is the conversation Texas Tech is having.
Yeah.
Texas Tech's having that conversation. Like, hey, guys, do not be fooled by this team having 3 losses. A, they should only have 2. And B, they're finally playing the kind of football we thought they'd be playing when this season started. That's a conversation in Lubbock right now. I know it is, because I talk to people down there. They've been worried about this game for a while. Now they're really worried about it, because K-State appears to be kind of back a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's Texas Tech is kind of in, the opposite boat, but the same as K-State, is that if they lose this game, like, their chances are like they just lost Arizona State a couple of weeks ago. Like, if they lose this game, it's like, whoa, shoot.
And
like,
that's not good. That's not a good thing for K-State either, in their chances, because Texas Tech knows they don't have wiggle room. They get their starting quarterback back. That's the thing about Tech. Like, Tech is, you got to remember what Tech was before that loss, because they didn't have their quarterback, and Hammond has had to play significant snaps. But
so who's playing? Who's going to play on Saturday?
Morton, the original starter, is back. He is
okay.
back. Yes. And he is significantly better.
Yes.
And then you start to think about, okay, this was a top 10 offense. This was a top 10 defense. We saw against Kansas, when they need to, they can run the ball a little bit. But the difference between Morton and Hammond, who I believe was a true freshman, like, is significant. Like night and day different. So that's where you look at it, and that's where it becomes a real trouble spot, is now you're getting the best of Tech, right? You're getting this all-world defense with their starting quarterback, who gives them a much better passing attack, and now you got to get after it. K-State, we're going to say the same thing. They've got to run the ball, and they're not going to have, Dylan Edwards. So Joe Jackson's been good, though. Joe Jackson, it's unfair to Joe Jackson that all the attention continues to stay with Dylan Edwards, because Dylan Edwards is such a playmaker, and we know that. Joe Jackson's, he's kind of on a little mini heater. Like, he has really developed into a pretty good runner the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he was young, and I think that that's something as well, is that he hadn't really had game experience, except for, taking a few snaps a game and taking a couple handoffs. But he's gotten a big workload, and he's played well since we've seen Dylan, basically not be available to play. And so it's going to take a lot to get it done against Texas Tech. I think that it's going to have to be a huge Avery game. If they want to have something done, they're going to have to throw the crap out of it, I'd imagine. And I imagine this game screams like it's going over.
Tech is a wagon defensively, and running on them.
Too.
Right. Defensively, though, they're the best. They're the best run defense in football. that TJ, they're not just a good run defense. They have the best run defense in college football.
Yeah.
Jacob Rodriguez, in my opinion, is the best defensive player in the country. And he was close last year. And now they brought in some beef on the line through all that NIL money that they've been spending. So I agree with you. It's got to be Avery. Now, what I don't totally like, I don't know that it's Avery throwing the crap out of the ball, but it's Avery making a crap load of plays.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to hand the ball off a ton.
Right. If they're going to run it, he's going to have to be a part of it. And it's going to be difficult. The reason I think this is such a challenge for K-State is Texas Tech probably, if I was to, I would make Avery throw the ball.
Yeah.
And then you're just trying to make plays against him. You're trying to make him one-dimensional, and then I think you become this opportunistic defense. Just at its base, they stop the run so well. That's the challenge against them. And they have a good pass defense too, by the way. They're top 40, I think, against the pass. But you got to do that. And then if you're K-State on the other side, now that you know that quarterback is back in there, you better be ready to stop the pass.
Yep.
Because this is a high level, Texas Tech passing attack too.
Yeah,
which they did
agree.
a great job against Kansas. I mean, that gives you hope. Look at seeing that pass defense play that well. That gives you the hope, I think, as much as anything else.
Yeah, I think that it comes. I think back to the KU game. Like, obviously, I've watched sparingly Texas Tech because they're a Big 12 team, and I like to watch the Big 12. But the most I've watched them was against KU, and I mean, obviously, KU, got obliterated in that game. But for the 15 minutes they looked good, they threw it on them. Like, they didn't get those points by running around. Like, it's possible to do. Like, I'll have to watch the Arizona State game and see how they handled it and everything like that. But like. That to my mind, it has to be a big passing game for Avery. The defense, like, you're not going to really slow down. Like, I think you slow down Texas Tech less on offense than you worry about them slowing you down on offense. Like, their defense is great, but like their offense could come in and score 35 like it's nothing.
I'm the opposite. I think K-State's biggest concern has to be has to be offensively trying to score on their defense. How many early in the season when K-State was not playing well, it's because it felt like they couldn't score, right? It's because the offense sputtered out. They lost that game inexplicably to a service academy team because their offense was never on the field. They couldn't get anything going on offense. That's what I worry about, is that they're just going to get smothered and not be able to move the ball. And then all of a sudden we'll look up and it's like 17-0 and it will feel like they just can't do anything. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not as worried about the Texas Tech offense as I'm worried about the Texas Tech defense. So I think I'm on the opposite side of that as you are.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I go back and forth. Like, I don't know if I want to like phrase it that I'm not like I am worried about the defense, but I think that the best way to describe this is I feel like I'm just chalking up the Texas Tech is going to score 30 plus on Saturday.
Yeah, I need K-State. I need to know K-State's going to get to 20.
That's what I think. I think we're in the same boat on this, but it's because of the Tech offense that I'm worried about the defense.
Yeah, maybe so. All right, we'll come back. We'll get speaking of KU, we'll get with Shreyas Laddha. What does he think of all this chatter about Leipold? What does he think of JJ Dunnigan? And we got to talk KU hoops when we return on Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
the canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks to Prayer Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up. Welcome back into Sports Daily with Shreyas Laddha. And joining us, our KU Insider. We've got KU basketball and football to talk about. No Darren Peterson last night. Cramps. We'll get to that, Shreyas. But first, let's talk a little football here. And I don't know, we don't need to talk about the Sunflower Showdown. KU got their tails kicked. What I want to ask you about is, are you surprised at the chatter? And maybe we should never be surprised at this chatter in college football, but people questioning Lance Leipold at this point. To me, to just my personal opinion, that's insanity from where the program was. But it's out there. I can't imagine that any of us feel like the administration there doesn't have the utmost confidence in Lance Leipold.
Yeah, I think the idea of like letting go of Lance Leipold or something like that, utterly ridiculous. I think you have to just let him play out the season, figure it out what happens. I mean, I think the way it ends this season is going to probably determine kind of if the seat is hot or not in the sense. But the questions are, I think, valid to ask. When is Kansas going to win a rivalry game? When is it going to be, is it going to be in the Lance Leipold tenure or not? Because, I mean, they just looked flat out unprepared and they got embarrassed on Saturday. I was, I'm a third party observer. I'm just a guy who covers the team. I was like, I didn't expect that. And I can only imagine how bad it was for Jayhawk fans to watch, the first 5 minutes where they get the return, the fumble, touchdown, or whatever. I mean, they get the fumble return and lead it to touchdown. And then after that, it was all Kansas State. I really didn't expect that. I talked to some friends who are Kansas State fans. They were surprised by that. I think it's a very fair question to ask yourself. What does this program need to do to win a rivalry game?
Shreyas, the thing that we've been talking about all week since Sunflower Showdown is the fact of, more so I'd say because of the Brian Kelly firing and coaches getting fired that brings up this conversation of, like, is there unrealistic expectations around KU football right now? What are they? Like, were they ever going to be a team that we thought that was going to be a dark horse contender? Or is this a letdown season? Is this a good season? Like, I feel like we've been skewed all year.
Well, I think going into the season, everyone saw them as a 6-win, 7-win team, right? So they're still on the pace for that, theoretically. I think the issue became, or not really an issue, but it kind of a good thing. Jalen Daniels had a season where you dare to dream a little bigger, is what I'd say, right? Up to the K-State game, Jalen Daniels was playing like a top 5, top 10 quarterback in college football, right? He had no bad games. K-State game aside, his numbers are still really, really good. Obviously, that game did not help it. But I think the perception of what they could be got skewed a little bit by early season wins against Fresno State, the way they looked against Wagner, the way they looked against West Virginia. Everyone knew there was going to be legitimate question marks against this thing. But even like the Missouri game, if you're a Kansas fan, like you come away a little bit, okay, there's some good things there. You're up 21-6. Yeah, you lost the game, but that was your first game in Columbia in like 10 years. Like, and you give yourself a chance to win. And they were within, a touchdown or less all game at that point, outside of when they led, of course. But I think perception has been skewed by some early season results / Jalen Daniels' play. And it led to a belief that this team was better than it was. And, I mean, hand up, I thought they were better than they were against K-State. I can tell you that much.
It's hard. There were games in there where we looked kind of in the aftermath and we're like, man, they got outgained by a ton in that. Was that deceptive? Maybe it was. They got a chance to bounce back. Plenty of chances to win big games down the stretch here. What do you make then in the fallout? Is JJ Dunnigan's decision fallout from the K-State game or not? I think that's really all that matters. Is that a reaction to that from what you're hearing, or is it just a college football thing now? I think it's just a college football thing. I don't think the game helped, though, right? Like, this guy supposedly went to the game. They got their butt whooped. He's the guy who's the prize recruit of the 26 class. I mean, like, I like to think that there was conversations had after that game, but I have a belief just based on the schools that have offered him scholarship this fall, there was probably some wavering quality there. I mean, like, no disrespect to Kansas or K-State, but, there's some really good schools who JJ has been offered this fall. Miami, Georgia Tech, who looks really good this year, as I say, as Georgia Tech. But it's just a mix of it's college football and these guys want more money, and it certainly didn't help that Kansas looked horrible against K-State.
Yeah. Shreyas, we'll switch it over to basketball here. We'll get back to football previewing the rest of the year, I imagine, later on in this segment. We'll talk about basketball. Last night, you got your first look at the Fort Hays State Tigers, most importantly. I'm not sure what their outlook is in the MIAA conference this year. But no Darren Peterson yesterday. Some cramps going on, it sounded like. Was that a precautionary thing since this game doesn't count? What'd you hear about that?
Yeah, I mean, Self said it was kind of like a mix between like cramps and a little bit of a stomach bug. He hasn't been feeling well since the second half against Louisville. I think he'll be fine. I do think it's something to monitor, though. I've noticed some of the stars in college basketball. I know Pablo Banchero dealt with cramps as well in his college career to start off. And I know there's a couple Kansas guys over the years, not in my tenure on the beat, but who have dealt with cramps and stuff like that. But I do think it's kind of an interesting subplot, right? Like, there's some level of like, well, these other guys have to be good because you can't rely on Darren Peterson to play 15 minutes and give you 24 points, because it does seem like that is kind of an exhausting point of return right now for the freshman. I expect he'll be fine, but I do think it's really interesting that, he cramped in his first real game with Kansas, but it's all getting into game shape and game flow and all that.
It's part of the reason, probably, Shreyas, we need to be very careful with how much expectation we put on him specifically. We did get a look, I think, at the starting five, though. Trey White, Flory Badunga, Melvin Council Jr., and Cole Rosario look like it. El Marco Jackson was the guy who got the nod in Darren Peterson's place. It looks like Coach Self is looking to run maybe like a 8-man rotation-ish, maybe stretches that out a little bit. But if we go back to the Louisville game to give us a better indication, it kind of looks like 8. Is that what you're anticipating?
Yeah, probably 8. Bill likes to say he'll run 8, 9, 10, whatever. The reality is when March rolls around, it's 7, maybe 8. I think the way this team is structured, there should be some contributors, I think, that will kind of rise up. But there are a lot of question marks. And Bill said it best. He went into the exhibition not knowing what to expect from this team the most out of any team he's coached. And I'm kind of right there with him. I really have no idea how good this team is outside of how good Darren Peterson is. I like to think the ceiling is higher than last year, but I think there's some small issues that keep on popping up that give me question marks, and I feel like I keep talking about it, but the shooting is the issue outside of Darren Peterson for me right now.
We're going stir crazy how much we've talked about shooting woes, I feel like. I agree, though. We don't know how good this team is going to be, and I feel like the only thing that we have is the evidence that we've gotten so far, which is 2 games that don't count. I didn't get to watch much of the Louisville game last week. We were dealing with high school football around here, but obviously what Darren Peterson did in that raised a bunch of eyebrows. They played that like it was a normal game. They didn't do hockey substitutions. They tried to win that game, and they did. Both teams did, I imagine, right?
No, 100%. I mean, I think Louisville had some full court press in that second half, so I guess it was a little different there. But, Bill Self talked about it, how he's impressed with how his team kind of handled that against a top 12 team in the country in Louisville. And I think, I give Kansas major props. See, they look like the much better team in that game with how many question marks they had going in. I think that's pretty impressive. And especially to do it in the road arena, with road fans, et cetera. Like, that's stuff that you want to see. I think I was pretty impressed with how they played the second half without Darren Peterson. I mean, he only played 10 minutes in the second half. And Kansas managed to still blow him out. But there was, still some question marks there. But I felt good about Kansas, better about Kansas after the Louisville game than I did about yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, that's the number 11 team in the country.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about Flory Badunga? I something that I just told myself that I'm going to watch early is how much of a presence he is offensively. We know he's going to be a defensive presence. He's taken 9 and 7 shots. That surprised me a little bit to see him that involved early on as an offensive weapon. And I think it's got to be a good sign, because if they can't shoot, they will need him to be an option down there.
Yeah, I mean, he looked good against Louisville outside of getting fouled out, of course. He did not look good against Fort Hays State. That happens. I don't really, worry too much about a guy who 80% of his shot diet or 90% of his shot diet is just dunking the heck out of the ball, You're not going to go 0-6 too many times. The one slight concern is I feel like I haven't seen a lot of his bag shown, I guess, on the offensive end. If he has an offensive bag, like where has he grown in that sense? I know he's been working on his jump shot since before he arrived to campus last year. Well, why haven't we seen it like pulled out like once, like just one time? Like I want to see if this jump shot is real or not. I think he's going to be really important. I think if Kansas is going to have a successful season, you want a guy like Flory averaging a double-double at the very least. And I expect him to average double-double. I think he will. I think people are freaking out a little bit by the sample size just based on Twitter and stuff like that, their response. But I'm not really worried. It's so early. Guys are figuring things out, going through the different spells and lulls and stuff like that. So he's probably going to be a guy that if he can average a double-double, it'll make everything much easier for Kansas basketball.
Shreyas, I'll circle us back. Let's talk one more football thing real quick before we have to go. Oklahoma State this weekend. It feels like this is the one that you use to get right the ship a little bit. Just kind of where are you at with this football program going the rest of the way?
Well, yeah, I think they should beat Oklahoma State pretty easily. I don't know if they cover 23-point spread. Maybe they do. I don't know. It's hard to say with the spread stuff. But I think they're going to probably make a bowl game. I just don't see them losing 3 straight after this game. I think the question is how good the bowl game is going to be is a big question mark because, like, theoretically they should be able to win 2 out of 3 in the end. Like, I think they can beat Utah. I think they can beat Iowa State. Not Utah, sorry, Arizona and Iowa State. But tough, road game in Arizona. That's always a question mark. Utah's tough and all that, but I don't know. I feel like they'll make a bowl game. I just don't know how good the bowl game will be.
Okay. Shreyas, we appreciate it. Follow all along with Shreyas Laddha at SHRE98 on X. Follow him at the KC Star with all the coverage on KU hoops and KU football. We're playing basketball by the time we talk next week, Shreyas. Real, actual basketball. We'll have one in the books, and we'll be looking ahead to North Carolina.
100% excited. Thanks, guys.
All right. There goes Shreyas Laddha. Don't go away. We'll be right back.